Widya as Sari. Hi Widya.
Hi, how are you? It's
I'm
really nice
great.
to meet you again.
Thank you, Widya. So, Widya, can you please tell us what gaslighting is and what are the signs actually?
Okay, so gaslighting is a form of emotional abuse which targets someone's self-esteem and self-confidence. And we can say that this is one of the worst kind of emotional abuse. Yeah, as mentioned before in the first clip, the targets or the victims are made to feel unsure about their perception, their judgment, their memories, and finally themselves. So uh, the gaslighter use verbal expression, use their action to attack someone's cognitive and emotional aspect at once.
Right. So Widya, this is Ahir speaking. Let's talk with the basic of gaslighting because this is the thing that we need to know with the good fundamental of this issue. So our second question is, what is the cause of gaslighting?
Okay. Regarding the cause, whether it's planned or it's a form of automatic response, the situation when someone feels threatened is the main trigger, the main cause. But the background can be anything. The most common are the needs to gain control and power over another person, and as a survival mechanism that they used to apply when they experienced gaslighting situation before in the earlier time of their life.
Oh, I see. Now that you've mentioned that one of the main causes is not the main causes, the main motive of doing a gaslighting is to gain control over someone, right? So it can
Yes.
happen in a romantic relationship, and can it also happen in work relationship? For example, a boss and his subordinates, maybe.
Of course, it can happen in any situations,
Okay.
as long as we have relationship with others.
Okay. So how do we deal with a gaslighter?
Well, first thing to do is to recognize the pattern, the red flags, so we're sure that it is gaslighting. At the first encounter, it's not really easy to recognize, but we can spot some signs such as they disrespect boundaries or repeatedly give us irrelevant comments. So the next thing we can do is setting nets that filter out their manipulative statements. Take some space from the situation when it happens. Focus on yourself, your well-being, seek support, and speak up about the behavior.
Can you give an example of disrespecting boundaries? Can you give an exact example of the situation?
Okay, maybe they disrespect your time, your private needs, or your needs of privacy, some kind like that. Sometimes they attack someone's feeling that, oh, you cannot do like this, you cannot do like that, while it's maybe we need our privacy or we need our boundaries. You cannot go through that boundaries, but gaslighter can use their maybe reason, yeah, their version of reason to make us feel guilty with building boundaries.
Okay. And Vidya, what is actually the biggest impact on the gaslighting victims?
Okay, gaslighters use actions or words that cause confusion and guilty feeling, which may lead to mental health concerns.
Yeah.
The constant self-doubt and confusion, and yeah, they can contribute to anxiety, hopelessness, and low self-esteem, may lead to depression, and constant blaming can lead to codependency or over dependency. So the impact can be very harmful on the victims, especially for the mental health. Yeah.
Right, so it's more interesting of discussion about gaslighting, right, Krizia
Right.
and Aubrey? So for the next question, Widya, so can someone, let's say, both for the gaslighter and of the gaslighting victims, recover from this trait? Or is it a mental disorder? As you know, I believe it can give a trauma for the victim, particularly, for example.
Well, change is highly possible. Yeah, but it really depends on the background, the willingness, the support, and the consistency. And everyone, gaslighting behavior can be associated with some personality disorder, but not all gaslighters have a personality or mental disorder. So it can be anyone, but some certain personality disorders are prone to gaslighting behaviors.
All right, and now that you have mentioned about the gaslighters, right? Can they change and can they not? Now I would like to highlight or ask you more about the victim of gaslighting. I mean, there must be some emotional damage, right? Being the victim of gaslighting.
Yes.
And like you said before, gaslighting is making someone question their own reality. So do you think that a gaslighting victim can recover? I mean, how can they recover? Should they seek professional help, or is there any ways that they can practice in order to, you know, recover from the emotional damage that has been done?
Of course, and when at the time they aware that they're become the victim of gaslighting, it's the chance for them to change the situation, to be in better situation, of course. And the first thing to do is seek support from the closest resource you have. After that, maybe you can ask for the professional help or for advanced therapy or counseling. So the first thing to do is to be aware about the situation that they are facing.
Okay. And speaking about awareness, usually the gaslighter, are they aware of what they're doing, or it's an indication? If they're not aware of what they're doing, then you can classify them as a gaslighter.
Well, there are two types of gaslighter. First type, the one who is aware of their action and who is unaware. The one who is unaware, usually they're the victim of the same situation. So they use it as a habit, or they use it as a defense mechanism, as I mentioned before, that they get it from the earlier time of their life. So whether they're aware or unaware, there's no side is better than the other side. Both of them need to be treated as someone who have to change their behavior. So both of type is really possible.
Okay, and for both of type, the gaslighter that aware and also unaware, so how can make they actually, you know, like change and stop their from, you know, like doing the gaslight and being a gaslighter? So how can they actually know and also change to be a better person?
Okay, how a gaslighter change their behavior also correlated with how people or how victims react to their behavior. That's why it's really important for us to speak up, to make them aware that they do something that is not acceptable. So when they know that someone is being in the victim side, they need to they get the sense of needs that they have to change the behavior. But it also depends on how they consistently do the maybe recommendation from the people who help them or the support they have. So it really depends on a lot of factors, but the change is very possible.
All right, so the next question will be the last question.
Yeah.
So after all, after we are discussing about the signs of gaslighting and the situation of any kind of relationship, not just about love relationship of gaslighting, so do you have any advice for all of us how to at least avoid soon as possible to this situation and keeping us with the mental health?
Pardon?
So what is your suggestion to avoid this situation, the gaslighting situation?
Oh, okay. It's let's back to the part when we talk about how we deal about the how we deal to with the person who has a gaslighting nature, yeah. Because the first thing to do is to recognize. So if we want to avoid the gaslighters, we need to recognize, we need to assess the situation and recognize, is there any red flags? Is there any patterns that are harmful for us in the situation that we might encounter every day, like workplace or relationship. So if we can spot those red flags, it's better for us to step away from that situation, or we can talk to people who can support us or who can be aware also about the situation.
All right. Thank you so much, Mbak Widya. Always a pleasure discussing psychology with you. We learned so much. Thank you for the wonderful insights. Please stay safe and stay healthy.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Stay healthy. Thank you.
Thank you.